Politics Reimagined, brought to you by Charlisa Shelton and Zach Ritter.
You and I have been talking over these weeks of like, why didn't the police have a gun? Or like, why wasn't there more police presence?
Yeah.
And did Trump's rearrangement of the Pentagon and rearrangement of police forces, uh, was Donald Trump the defunder of police in chief? Like, why wasn't there more of a presence? And this
No, not defund the police.
don't defund the police.
No. Oh, you know what I think. I think that that's the case. People, the mayor called a few days before and requested, additional support. That was denied. Like I said, Larry Hogan, the governor from Maryland, was denied when he was like, "Hey, you guys need some help." And it was like, "No, we good." And
he
it's
said
just
he was on the phone for like 90 minutes.
Yes. So just like, and finally they were like, oh, okay. And I think again, is just, from what appeared to be going on, you had Leader McCarthy and Lindsey Graham. You had them calling him and saying, hey, you got to do something about it, while he's like sitting in the White House, like watching these people storm the Capitol, like, go people, we love you. So I mean, seriously, can you imagine him doing that though? I kind of imagine him sitting there like,
Well, you don't even have to imagine. He got on national TV and he says, we love you.
Yes.
You're very special.
Yes.
Please go home now.
Yes.
So I'm like, wait. So Donald Trump's president.
Yes. Of the country.
Of the country.
Of the whole country. Not the 2,000, 4,000 people that were at the Capitol that day. You are literally the president of a country with over 300 million people in it.
Correct. Right. There's like 340 million people, and they stormed the country's capital, and they are destroying stuff. They tried to execute, some of the politicians, AOC and Pence and some other people. And he says, I love you.
Yeah.
You are very special.
Very special.
Now here's something that we have to talk about. And this has to do with the media that we consume.
Yes.
You are what you eat, right?
Yes.
There were a lot of folks consuming media that said that Donald Trump was robbed. He got the election stolen from him.
Yes.
And everything in this country is racialized. They were stealing. They were stealing votes in predominantly Black cities.
Right.
Detroit.
Black folks.
Right? Again, they're still 3/5 of the people, right? There's 3/5.
Basically.
Right.
And it's in here. And let me just say, we know the history of voting in this country, right?
It hasn't been working for them, so they're like,
right, absolutely. In hello, we've had so many years of them trying to suppress our votes, right? And to the point where a lot of the times just like, okay, like why do we having to go through all of this stuff just to vote, right? Especially voting for people who are not doing anything for us, right? So we're not necessarily a part of this country. They're not doing anything that's helping us. Like, why are we doing this, right? So yes, the history, we all know the history. But what I am saying is, Black people got out there and was like, yeah, not today. Donald Trump, no, we're just not doing this. Like, it's just too much. And listen, we're educated people. We go to school too, right? We're business owners. We have great jobs. We, you know what I mean? We're college educated. We do all those things. So it's just like, it was one of those things where it's just like, he literally woke up a sleeping giant. It was just like, seriously? Yeah, we're not doing this. Like, this dude is dangerous. This rhetoric is dangerous. Like, we cannot sit back and not do anything about it. And not only that, but you had some really great people on the ground who mobilized and really, focused on getting people things that they needed to make sure that they were able to vote. And therein lies what you get when when you do the things that you need to do to get people to vote.
100%. And right in your backyard, right?
Absolutely.
Right? Insay Ifo, New Georgia Project, Latasha Brown, Black Voters Matter, Stacey Abrams,
Stacey Abrams,
Fair
yep.
Fight. And
Yep.
there's something so sadly poetic about the series of events that just happened. I want to point out two things. If you zoom out, bird's eye, Barack Obama, black and brown progress. Punchback, white lash, Donald Trump.
Absolutely.
Followed by first black and Indian vice president.
Black, Indian, and woman.
Exactly.
And a woman. Yeah.
One woman, right? Which challenges, which we haven't talked about, toxic like white masculinity, which was on display at the Capitol riots. This is my country, and I'm gonna, the gun as an extension of the phallus, and I'm gonna take it back over my dead body.
Yep.
And by brute force, I'm going to change the election for Donald Trump because we have to maintain this white male man as the head of state. It's just a lot of weird shit. But if you look at what happened the night before the Capitol riots, you have Reverend Warnock, right? Black preacher from Dr. Martin Luther King's Ebenezer Church. And you have a Jewish filmmaker, John Ossoff. but the night before the Capitol riots, you have a black and a Jewish guy who become senators from Georgia. Okay. And then you have the white lash in response to that. So I don't know, it's really, we always had the white fringe underbelly with Waco, with Oklahoma City bombing. Yep. White terrorism and white terrorism from Reconstruction time, from Civil War time, from KKK time, like we know this, right? Ulysses Grant in 1871 had to send national troops to the South to kill KKK people, right? He had to pass legislation to stop the Ku Klux Klan.
And today,
Ahmaud
Arbery. Yep. Those, that right there, come on.
Yeah,
they literally chased him down in a truck. Like, wow. How crazy is that? Like today, 2019, that's nuts.
But see, this is interesting because you are naming it as like vigilante white terrorism, which would hang and lynch black people because they hated them, but also because they were an economic threat.
Yeah.
Right. Let's be clear on that. There was no one that I know of that was wearing a white sheet at the Capitol riots, but they had the noose and it said hang Mike Pence.
Yes.
Right? And so the media can cover it as, well, these people are just really misinformed and they're propagandized because they think the election was stolen.
The media has done a really bad job the last 4 years. It took them forever to say that he was lying.
Right.
To even just say that it was a lie. Like, this is like, seriously, he just had a press conference and he told 373 lies in 30 minutes. And we're going to say it's, a miss, maybe he didn't mean to, or he, maybe his information is a little bit inaccurate. No, he lied. Like, he lied. It's like he lied. It's okay to say he lied. Like, it's like the sky's not gonna fall if he lied. And all of the reporters in Washington, everybody who sits in that press conference you know, where they're having Kayleigh McEnany come out and have these, you know, these, they all failed. They all failed because nobody ever pushed back. And my thing is, the media was under so much negativity from Donald Trump, right? Like, he literally was like, I hate the media, they're horrible, these people are liars, these are, you know, they're the worst people in the world. And instead of them sticking together,
right,
and actually getting things that we needed, right? If he goes over one person to the next person, guess what? Next person asks that same question.
yeah,
Like,
right,
seriously. Like,
right.
ultimately, like, you know, because now this is not a personal thing. Okay, I don't like this person, I'm not going to answer this question. So go to the next person, answer the question. No, don't ask him about some shit that doesn't matter to anybody in the world. It's just like, it was like, I would just sit there and be like, I hate all of these people, man. Like, why can't they just get it right? Like, it
Well, and you're right. There's no solidarity, and there's no
no,
backing people up, and they should have just
no.
kept asking the same questions. Like,
Yes.
we all stand. Yeah, 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 yeah.
We this is something that's important, especially when it's important. When it's
Yeah.
something that's important, when it's something that impacts us all. Like, yeah, let's talk about it. Make him answer the question. You know, like,
But here's the interesting thing. You said McEnany failed.
no, I said the people in the room failed. She's
Okay.
a just
Oh,
she's
okay.
an
Okay.
she's
Okay.
she's an abject failure. Like,
Right. Right.
like
But see, this is where I think we really need to start talking about, because did some of these people fail in terms of the traditional rubric of you want to have a decent presidency? Yes. But they didn't fail because they wanted to empower Trump. Is Trump's, well, is Trump's performance a failure? No, it entertained the whole world, right? We've been glued to the TV. He made money. The news organizations made money. Everybody made
rich
money.
people made money.
Rich people made hella money, right? Their
Yes.
stocks are,
Yeah.
And so, but kids in cages, you know, kids being separated, you know, Muslim ban, uh, you know, Black Lives Matter, all these black folks getting killed, like, and he's the least racist person in the room, yet he won't do any police reform to change any of this black death. All of this stuff, he's really kind of, as you pointed out, held up a mirror to America.
Mm-hmm.
And he ripped this huge scab off and he said, we're not post anything, right? We're not post racial, we're not post capitalistic, we're not
Right.
post ego. Donald Trump never wanted to be president.
No, we all know that.
We all know that.
Yes.
Donald Trump wanted to make money.
Yes.
Donald Trump has made $300 million since the election ended.
Yeah.
By people that
Can't afford to give him that money for the most, in most instances. Yeah.
Exactly.
Can I say this too? This is why he is not. This is why he is not quitting. This is why he is, you know, just not saying, okay, you know, this is still going on, because he wants to continue to collect that money.
Right.
Yeah, but go ahead.
100%.
Yeah.
That's correct. Reagan mixed star power with presidency. Reagan was on TV straight up eating grapes when he was governor of California, and he was saying, F you, Cesar Chavez, I'm going to eat your grapes. You want us to boycott grapes because it's screwing over the farm worker? I'm going to eat grapes. Donald Trump has been eating grapes since day one. He doesn't give a F about anybody other than this is really about make Trump great again.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Right. Reagan was a mixture of stardom and presidency. Donald Trump is a B actor, right? C+ actor from, I don't know, whatever, from The Apprentice.
Yeah.
People saw strength. People saw male ego. people saw dominant whiteness in The Apprentice.
Yeah.
I want that in my president.
Yeah.
That's strength. That's American strength.
You already know that perceived strength is a joke.
Right.
It's a joke. Like, it's just a joke. Like, we all know there's nothing strong about Donald Trump. There's
Right.
nothing. And it's crazy because, you know, you can watch TV all you want to. You're watching scripted TV,
Right.
right?
Right.
You watch scripted TV and determine that this person is strong,
Right.
but you see him on the stage with a woman and he's whining.
Right.
And it's just like, you saw him on stage with a multitude of people, and there was nothing good, nothing positive, nothing that you can take away from any of those debates, and be like, oh God, this guy is amazing. Like, you can't. It's a joke. And so I think that's my main thing about the whole thing. Listen, this is gonna be a little bit controversial. I don't care. Because I love Hillary Clinton. I do. And it is in listen, the whole super predator. Okay, just go away. Don't bring it to me. Okay. My thing with Hillary and why I feel the way that I feel is because she is a strong woman. And she was a strong woman from the beginning, and that's why, you know, 75% of white men hate her, right? When she came in as first lady, you know what I mean? They wanted her to, like, you know, go garden, and she was like, to hell with you. I have a law degree and he wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. You know, it's like that, like, seriously. And it's the same with Barack Obama. Like, those two, I believe they would not have been there without their wives, right? And so Hillary made him, you know, and she was president by extension because like, I love the Bill Clinton is a nice guy or whatever, but my thing with that is, you know, I truly believe that of the two of them, she's the smarter one. I truly believe that she was the most cultured of the two of them, and she pushed him, and she, you know, she molded him into being the man that he eventually was. And so she was just like, yeah, we won. You know, we won this. And so, you know, she went through that whole thing. She went through, you know, being first lady and like doing what she, you know, was doing with healthcare and all this other stuff. And she is so accomplished just over her life, right? And so I always think about that, like, you know, such an accomplished woman, and she lost to this buffoon. And it just, and it, like, I just, you know, I felt for her. I'm just like, my heart hurt for her, because I'm like, man, you know, what must it feel like to lose this guy? Like, how do you sleep at night? You know, it's just bad. But
well, and I think that's why Michelle didn't want to run. I think she may have seen Hillary, and Hillary was like the most qualified presidential candidate ever.
Yes. Like, come on. She went through all the steps, right? She was you know, she's first lady, she's a senator, she's, you know, secretary of state. She's just like boom, 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 all the way through. And then here comes the village idiot, and like, boom, you know, America is like, he's a strong man, and you know, no to socialism, and you know, all that good stuff.
And that's a whole other conversation I think that we have to have.
Yeah.
I understand white men not being able to see themselves in a Hillary Clinton, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
for white women.
But the white women thing is the internalized sexism that is really telling about this country, because what's his name? Oh, Burns. Oh, he's that comedian. He was on Saturday Night Live, and he was like, white women have benefited the most from affirmative action.
You know, I'm really glad you said that, because I meant to say that earlier, but good. Okay. Yes, absolutely. The white family has benefited more from, okay.
And he was saying that white men are getting a lot of, you know, like, shit right now. And white women were benefiting from that slave money back in the
Yes.
day. And their hands are bloody too, and they need to sit down with the white man and get the talking to with the white man as well.
Absolutely. Because guess what? They were not being nice to the slaves. They were not being nice to the slaves that were working in the house. It wasn't like they were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, my husband is doing this to you. Would you like to sit down for a few minutes? You know, I know you've been working all day." They were like, right along with their husbands.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, absolutely.
And this is why we need to start creating new narratives and start teaching history in a different way, because slavery didn't end because white people were like, oh my God, I have to be a good Christian today.
Right.
That's not why it
Because they
ended.
were good Christians owning whole people.
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And ripping out Exodus from the Bible and giving it to enslaved folks to read, but don't read the part where you get free because that's dangerous.
Right.
It was a financial system.
Yeah.
Right. And there were financial reasons that we can't really get into of why slavery ended. It was a financial thing that the North was ready to move the country into a more industrial place, and they didn't need as many bodies picking cotton because they started doing, machinery that was doing the cotton picking. And so again, reading American history through a morality lens, you will just cry,
Mm-hmm.
right? But reading American history through a monetary lens, then you can really start being honest and open about this stuff.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is transactional, and Donald Trump is about money. Donald Trump, in some ways, represents America the best, because he represents all the ugly stuff that we have. It's very transactional. Mitch McConnell, I'm going to use you. McConnell, I'm going to use you just as much.
Yep.
McConnell got 3 Supreme Court justices,
Yep.
and all those smaller justices.
Yep.
But the 2017 tax break for the rich. Donald Trump got a lot of money, got a lot of fame, got international notoriety. He could go and live in Saudi Arabia. He can go and live in Russia, right? He's best friends with all these dictators, Duterte in the Philippines. So they all got what they wanted.
Yeah.
Trump was so pissed off at the end, he lit the match and threw it on the Capitol. And he says, F you, Mike Pence. He said one-on-one with him, do you want to be a patriot or a PUSSY? Donald Trump lit the match, threw it onto McConnell, Pence, and everybody. And McConnell is now, because he can't get anything else from Trump, willing to convict and impeach Donald Trump.
Oh yeah. Here's the thing. Donald Trump he's a marketer. He's a salesman, right? Mitch McConnell is a strategist.
Yes.
And so even before the whole Capitol incident, right? Like when Mitch McConnell came out and was like, listen, you lost, bruh. It's over. It's over. Like he had reached that point because he knew, okay, he's gone. Like, there's nothing I can do with him. So now let's start talking about unity and love in America, because Joe is my friend, and we're gonna get in here and okay, maybe I won't have, maybe I won't be the majority leader, but I'll still have some connection with Joe. And we all know that Joe Biden is, he's a moderate,
Yes.
He's borderline Republican.
Yes, correct.
I think we all made peace with that, right? And so he is now positioning himself to to be middle of the road.
Yeah.
To be easy and flow and unite with the Democrats now that they are in power everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So we want to just be chill.
Yeah.
We love you.
Right.
We love you guys. We love you guys. Mitch McConnell. He signed letters and